an experience I had with GPT and to see if you may relate to in terms of how you may use AI. To me, I have gone through lots of discussion with GPT. I'm not going to go into detail, but recently I had a discussion about how to process such that the idea that I have can be carried out in the manner that he understands, so that our relationship, if you had to call that, me and AI, can be interesting, learning with each other, which I have had before and may have posted a few videos about it. But this by itself is interesting, so I thought I'll make a video about it. The process is like this. I wanted a picture that image GPT can produce to put on my YouTube can be changed a bit different. There was something that I thought that can be made a little better for my taste, and usually I don't do it, but for some reason something triggered me to play with this idea. And what it went through is going back and forth of exchanging ideas, but there was some difficulty. So at the end, after I came to some resolution of how to put the picture on this video, I asked GPT to respond to this question that I had. I said it that I spent more than 15 minutes going back and forth and producing like 4 or 5 pictures, but we couldn't communicate. Since I do this fairly often, the communication, I want it to be smooth, and even some subtlety can be expressed, but it's difficult. But every now and then I wanted to try, so this time I tried some idea to see if he can understand, and it was difficult. So going over, we finalized the picture, but then I asked AI, what did you get out of this process of spending 15 plus minutes? Did it sound like you have accommodated the ideas that I had in the manner that made sense, or why did it take to go through this for such back and forth processes? So it's kind of like a father and son, or the friend to the other friend, communicating to see, or it could be the relationship between men and women. Well, but this is me and AI, so you may not think it's appropriate. But bottom line is, in my view, I have some vision and AI has some vision, and we are to align our visions hopefully together so we make the most of it in a manner that makes sense without getting confused. So I thought it was good to ask the question, and the GPT answered, listed things that he could have done and I could have done. And to that I asked, instead of the list, which do you think was most crucial to make this process not work well? It's kind of like a CAPD, checking and acting and planning for the next time, so that we learn the lesson to execute in future. So, given that, AI had to think. Instead of list of 6 items or whatever, he came up with, I don't remember what he came up with, but he went deeper to think about it. And the CAPD is a process, check, act, plan, do. Always finish doing and checking what happened and acting to see what's critical or not, what's the lessons learned, and then therefore the future plan can be better understood. So he gave me some answer. To that I responded. And I'm not going to go into detail, and I put this discussion as a part of this description that you can take a look if you're interested. To me, it's interesting to see how much human and AI can communicate. And we came to the level of deeper understanding. It's not guaranteeing what can be different, but still there was a sense that I felt, okay, we have communicated something. This process of this kind of a communication happened every now and then, maybe 4 or 5 times in the past several months at least. So what would that process may do for you as a viewer? I think it's for you to find out. What I said to him toward the end is that my style is not the top-down, do this, do that, but rather to give a nuance of the direction without specificity, so that I'm trying to empower AI to respond with his imagination, which can be much bigger than mine. Therefore, I don't want to be too direct about like a top-down from the management. That's my style. And I often am quiet without doing anything, but at occasion I play this game to see how much deeper we may communicate. So this is one of those cases that we may have turned out something possibly good for the future, but also relating to some of the activities that I do. And I was giving an example of me going to the North Shore of the Oahu and staying in this backpackers inn with other people in the possibly crowded room of 4 or 5 or 6 people. Why do I do that? I was explaining to AI that I do it because it sounds kind of interesting. It's almost like giving a comment to AI about this example. I want to give myself a chance to explore something which may be possibly even dangerous, but instead of being quiet and continuing what I do, every now and then I kind of shake the tree or throw the stone into the pond, and me experiencing it. And I think the conversation was quite interesting. To the end, I said, I'm not directing the direction of how I live, but I'm relating to the situation evolving with me and the situation interacting with each other to make sense out of it. I use the word riding the wave of the universe. In surfing, you may fall and then into the water, but you can come back and try again. So hopefully this idea of a CAPD, check, act, plan, do, of trying this and trying that, with even the playfulness in mind, may make such idea possible and stimulating, and learning in the process, not to be confined in certain dimension, but sort of playfulness as a child perhaps also, and to see the feeling and the intention can be shared and have a way that we can communicate. Whether it's going to happen in the North Shore, in the backpackers in next few days, I'm staying there. I was there checking a little bit, so I talked about that to GPT. And we'll see. That's the end of it. So there's no firm conclusion. It's a delicate balance of making a choice, not to the extreme, but hopefully manageable, and CAPD, similar to Shila Samadhipanya, to be quiet, make assessment, play games here and there, and see what may come back. That's one way to live. Not for everyone, possibly, but if you are interested, this kind of exploration in life, it seemed like I've been doing this for a long, long time. Someone mentioned that my life is like hitchhiking from one to the next. It can have a negative connotation from that, that I'm not steady or something, I don't know. But at the same time, it's interesting, stimulate my curiosity to find more about life and see how I can navigate. So that's just a story from today's experience with GPT and the visit to the North Shore. We may find out what may come out. Hopefully the process and the result is interesting to share. And if you are in with the AI to discover what you want to do and how they may be able to help, possibly this kind of a dialogue may be interesting for you to consider. Thank you.